Hey guys, so following last time I spoke to you guys, we finished up the massive battle for East Luttera, and now we pick up our story here still in East Luttera in the port city. To begin our journey, the first goal we had to achieve was to get a ship to sail into new adventures. But before we did that, we had to help this pirate lady, who Tyron and she knows each other, and this lady is looking like she's not messing around, I'm gonna tell you that much. She and Tyron made a deal. She wanted me to help her, and in return, she would give me her ship. So what we needed to do is to get rid of some of the pirates in the area. So following that, I entered this dungeon where we found this pirate guy. And let me tell you guys, this pirate lady is truly not messing around. The guy pleaded for mercy.
Please, don't kill me.
And she just smashed him into pieces in cold blood. Absolutely ruthless. Following that, now that we know where the pirates are hiding, I entered another dungeon. Here we found all of the hiding pirates. And my guy here also noticed that his ship was actually been stolen. He was also complaining how he paid the guards and the ship got stolen anyway. Probably should have paid more. But you know, it is what it is. After making my way all the way to the end of the dungeon, I found the last boss here, the final pirate that I needed to defeat. Upon defeating him, we made this area pirate free and we sailed back to the port city of East Luttera. Here in the port city of East Luttera, this pirate lady gave me one of her ships as a reward for all the help I did for her. After getting some crew, I began to sail off into the new adventures, but before I did that, Tyron said thank you for everything, and he said how we still have a lot to do and we're gonna meet some other place sometime soon. And so we left East Luttera for new adventure and new journey ahead. As soon as I left the dock, I was able to actually steer the ship myself, which was pretty cool. I didn't know you could do this in this game, so it's a little bit of a sailing game as well, which is pretty cool, I have to say. At first I didn't know where to go, but then I looked at my express story and it showed that I need to go to Mokoko village, so that's where I made my way. Once I arrived here, I immediately found some little guys. I needed to save a bunch of them because they were trapped by the pirates, so I defeated a whole bunch of pirates, and once I did that, they gave me this potion that transformed me into one of the gnomes, and now I was able to enter their Mokoko village. And boy, let me tell you, as soon as I entered it was so cool. Everything was so big to me and I was so small, and I have to say everything was looking so nice, so vivid, so unique. It's amazing. I never ever played any game before that looked all this like, I don't know, almost you could say cute, but not cute, but like, you know, more like vivid and colorful. But we did not came here for nothing. The goal is to find all 7 arcs. So the second arc is somewhere here and the goal is to find it. And to do that, we need to assemble this map. Also help these little guys that their home had broke down. So I'm like, here's a leaf, you can fix your house now. Don't worry about it. I got you guys, I got you. And they're like, yeah, thank you man, thank you man. And afterwards I transformed myself into the ladybug and I needed to get some male bugs to follow me for, you know, what they thought was gonna be a good time, but unfortunately it was a lie and there was no good time. They got tricked, but you know, it is what it is. You have to be smarter than that. Afterwards, I transformed into the ladybug again and I transported her to another place, and here once I finished the quest, I received my own ladybug mount, which was actually pretty cool and unique looking and also very useful since I can't use my board here because it's too big, so I had to use this ladybug, and she was a nice mount, pretty fast, pretty good. And then I fought this first boss that I needed to defeat to get the first piece of the map. Upon defeating it, I received the first piece of the map and I still had 3 more left to find, so I began my journey to find another 3. I've also found these little kids that were playing in a water but couldn't get out, so I moved another lift and made them a bridge out of it so they would be able to escape it. And honestly, I have to say that is so cool. I'm just loving every minute being small in this city, like it's just so cool. Afterwards, I moved into this another dungeon where I was supposed to find another piece of the map. Here in this other dungeon, I was unfortunately still small, but everybody else was big, so eventually they noticed me and they found me and they were able to caught me and they placed me into this like a little jail cell, but this jail cell wasn't strong enough for me. I broke it apart and I made my way out of here, but it was just so cool. I was just like walking through the table, climbing onto books through compass chain, just so awesome. I'm just amazed by this. Story wise, maybe not the most impressive arc, but look wise, just amazing. Afterwards, I fought this parrot boss, which like I said, just so cool. It's just so cool. And he was decently strong, wasn't like the most strong thing in the world. I defeated him pretty easily, but I just like the way it looked. It's just so cool, man. Like I'm telling you guys, it's just so amazing. Then I moved this couple pieces away and I drank this juice, and when I drank this juice, I finally became became big again, and now finally I was able to face those pirates. After defeating a whole bunch of them, I also defeated this mini boss guy, but he unfortunately escaped and he burned the bridge, so I needed to cut down the tree to make an improvised bridge, and my guy here was like,
Is there a tool we can use to cut down the tree?
I wonder what we could use to chop down a tree. But yeah, anyway, after that I fought the final boss of this dungeon. I obviously enough used my bonking skill. I just love this thing. Just bonk, bonk, bonk away and bonk away to receive the second piece of the map. Upon receiving the second piece of the map, I moved back to the Mokoko village. Before continuing on my way, I dropped every item that I don't know what to use for in my bank because I was just getting completely overwhelmed by items by now. And afterwards, I read the second piece of the map and I made my way here to this other dungeon where was the third piece of the map. I needed to defeat this mini boss. It wasn't too difficult or anything. I defeated him and he managed to run away, but he did left his third piece of the map on his table, so I took the map and I read it, and now I had 3 pieces of the map and there was only 1 remaining to find. Then I found the statue that I needed to read. Upon reading the statue, this guardian appeared. This guardian was pretty strong, so I needed to fight him for a final piece of the puzzle. I obviously enough used my bonking skill, but he managed to run away and escape half of my bonking. No big deal though, I still managed to defeat him. Upon defeating him, he dropped the final piece of the puzzle, the 4th piece of the map, and now I had a map completed and I knew where to go to find the second arc. And so I did that. I made my way to this pool where I needed to place all the spirits that I found, and this giant all of a sudden became alive. He opened his mouth, and that where the final dungeon of this Mokoko village arc was. And so I entered it. And guys, I have to say it was an amazingly looking dungeon. It wasn't the most interesting one, I will admit, but just visually it was stunning. There wasn't too much interesting to do. I killed a whole bunch of monsters, then I faced this guardian that I needed to defeat. After defeating him, he granted me this song that I can use to summon these guys that will help me, and these guys will show me the way where I need to go in this dungeon. And so I did that, I played the music and these guys appeared and they showed me where to go, and then I had to do it a couple more times. After doing it a couple more times, I made my way almost to the end of the dungeon, but just not quite there yet. There were these floating platforms that I needed to take to make my way to the boss, but I couldn't get up them, so I asked these little guys, hey guys, can you help me out real quick? Can you help me get on the platform? And they were like, yeah, no worries, we're just gonna assemble for you. Yeah, no problem, guy. And so they did assemble, and now I was able to climb on them and make my way onto the platform. Upon drifting a few platforms, I made my way to this other area where I immediately knew it was probably gonna be the last boss of the dungeon and the arc, because just how amazing the ground looked, it was just so cool. And sure enough, that was the case. This water elemental guardian appeared, and she was actually quite strong. Luckily, I had my bonking skill ready, so as soon as I started bonking her, I took away most of her life, but she was so strong that she still didn't die, and I had to continue fighting her even after the bonking skill, which is quite rare because my bonking skill is surely quite strong. But I was still okay, I still managed to defeat her. Her skills actually were pretty cool looking, and she was pretty cool looking. I have to say, as a boss, she was pretty awesome. Not as awesome as the boss in the Luttera King Tomb, but still pretty cool though, pretty cool. Once I defeated her, I ditched this little plant, and from it, I received the second arc. Once I took the second arc, I made my way into this character selection area, you could say. I don't know what to call it, I don't know what it's called. And here I placed the second arc, and now as you can see, I have 2 out of 7. And so, that was the Mokoko village journey. And so, I made my way to the next area. So, what are my thoughts on this Mokoko village arc? Well, one thing that completely stood out for me the most is just how pretty it was. Man, let me tell you, it was just amazingly looking, just awesome, 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 awesome. Just probably one of the most beautiful areas I found in any game so far. I just love the way it was so small. There were like books, boots, compasses, like all kinds of stuff, like little animals. My mount was a ladybug. It was just so cool, so unique. I've never played any other game where it had that. I loved every minute of it. As far as the story goes, it wasn't as interesting as Luttera, not even close to be honest. Story-wise, it was a little bit disappointing. It just completely made up with the way it looked and the way it felt. That was something that completely made this arc for me. If it had good story in it, I would probably say it would be like the best arc so far, But for me, so far, the best arc is still probably the East Luttera arc. I just loved it. But, you know, there's still so many arcs to go, so we'll see. Maybe there's gonna be another arc that's gonna take the top spot. For now, it's East Luttera, and we'll see. I also found it kinda cool that you can actually sail the ships yourself. I didn't know you can do that in the game before this video, so that was a cool discovery as well. Once again, of course, I have no idea what to expect next, and I love how the game manages to do this every arc. Like, I know where I'm sailing, I just don't know what to expect there. Like, this Mokoko village was just complete departure from East Luttera. Luttera felt like some sort of a medieval kingdom, like with medieval battles and stuff, like almost like medieval Europe, you could say. While Mokoko village arc just completely felt like some sort of a fairy tale story. Nothing like Luttera, just complete departure. And I hope that the game will have more of these departures and will have more unique areas and things to explore. Once again, the music of course was a standout. Not as much as maybe in the previous arc, but still pretty cool. Like I said, the story did felt flat a little bit here in this arc, but everything else felt just amazing. Look-wise, it was one of the most beautiful areas I explored in any game, and boy do I hope there's more where that came from. But yeah, anyway guys, so far I don't have much negative things to report, probably like nothing to be honest, aside from like the story that felt a little bit flatter than Luttera's story. But other than that, there's nothing else to report. The game is still amazing and I'm still enjoying it, and I'm still gonna continue playing it, and I'm still gonna continue making videos on it. And I hope to see you come along for those videos. And if you could subscribe and like, that would be amazing. If you could comment for the algorithm, that would be fantastic. And as always guys, I appreciate you watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.